What's up, dude? CM Games has been cooking up this dev diary for a minute. You can tell because it is honestly one of the most jam-packed dev diaries we've gotten thus far. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm just gonna say it right now, dude. We get to talk about new entities today and new future locations. Now, before you explode from excitement, that sounded fucking weird. We are going to go over the main points in this dev diary. First up, common requests that the devs have been getting from the community. And I'm gonna reference the phone really quick because this is a fat list. Being able to move around the game using teleportation.
This is a metric that I had no clue about, but I'm not surprised. Less than 10% of people who played Into the Radius 1 used the teleport movement option. Everybody else, me included, chose to use smooth locomotion. And it is for that particular reason that the devs don't really intend on putting too much focus and resources into blink movement.
Chest rig customization.
You want it, I want it, everybody wants to be able to customize their chest rigs. I want to be able to swap around the slots. I want to be able to have like 4 primary weapon holsters on one chest rig. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. But unfortunately, no real solution has been found. At least that's what the devs say. So it's still kind of undecided and requires more time.
We still don't have knives. I honestly can't even believe that Into the Radius 2 started with no knives, just right off the bat. Like, that was default, couldn't believe it.
This breaks my heart because I loved throwing knives Into the Radius 1, even though I was sucked at it. Alright, let's be honest here. But unfortunately, due to the high standard of requirement in order for melee combat to be present in this game, knives may not be showing up in Into the Radius 2 prior to the full release.
VR headset support.
So, Into the Radius 2 has been tested using Quest and the Index. However, other VR headsets may not be getting support for this game prior to its official release.
It would be amazing if they could actually pull this off, which I doubt that they can. Full weapon disassembly.
Completely, entirely being able to disassemble and reassemble your weapons in this game would genuinely be mind-blowing. And let's be honest here, dude, it is a pretty massive ask. Actually, such a big ask, we aren't going to be getting it, okay? We're not going to be able to completely disassemble our weapons. However, the devs are considering kind of a modular approach to disassembling and reassembling guns in the game. A grip. Maybe we can swap out like to a completely different receiver. I don't know. I have no clue. Ultimately, we're just going to have to see what the devs come up with.
And then performance issues. This has been ongoing.
This game is hard to run, alright? No matter what PC you have. But do not worry because the devs actively work on ways to improve the performance of the game and keep it looking as crisp as possible. But just know that perfect performance for every setup is not guaranteed, okay? That's a hard ask, especially with a game that's this big and this detailed.
Now, dudes, we get to talk about a brand new update. It's not out yet, but it is going to be deemed 0.12. And this update is going to be pretty freaking awesome. This is when we get to talk about new entities. So let's go down the list, okay? What new features are going to be in this update? You're bound to love this because it is the foundation of Into the Radius. We're getting new weapons.
We're going to be getting a couple new weapons, alright, 2. And a few variations for them. Devs are also working on a larger set of new weapons that they're going to share more about in the future.
When you're Into the Radius, what do you do with your leisurely time? Into the Radius 1. I clean the living out of my guns because it is on the top tier of most satisfying things to do in Into the Radius. Into the Radius 2 didn't come out of the box with any weapon cleaning, but in this new update...
Now, we aren't going to be getting any advanced methods for cleaning weapons being put into the game, but we are going to get access to some basic ways that we can clean weapons. I'm assuming this is like brushing the gun, cleaning the barrel out with our ramrod, stuff like that.
There's going to be an expansion to the armor system.
Some ballistic helmets are going to be added to the game, and they're going to have some distinct properties as well as some distinct attachments that can be put on them.
We're getting something called distortion zones.
Inspired by the gas clouds in Into the Radius 1. Not only that, we're going to have special gear issued to us to be able to enter these zones. Like a mask, maybe a helmet, maybe like a hazmat suit, dude. That would be sick.
And we finally get to see what the new entity is going to look like.
It's not a slider, but but it looks terrifying, dude. It basically looks like the Fragment. All right, let's be honest. It's like an updated Fragment. But as you can see from this picture, boys, it's looking very, very creepy. And supposedly, this new enemy is going to help balance out various locations.
Now, considering the fact that you literally have to have a fucking quantum computer to play Into the Radius 2 with high graphic settings, I'm glad to say that we're going to be getting even more performance boosts and improvements to the visuals of Into the Radius 2.
Like updates to the sky, the day-night cycle, the sun, landscape textures, and they're gonna add destructible figures into the game. Because if you've played Into the Radius 1, you know how fun it is to go deck one of those statues right in the face.
If you've been pinching pennies out in the Radius, man, scraping the bottom of the barrel just to afford one more goddamn syringe, the future might be looking bright for you because we're getting some tweaks to the economy of Into the Radius 2 in this next update.
Basically, these adjustments to the economy of the game are going to affect loot and other aspects of gameplay.
We got technical improvements.
This includes things like graphics optimizations, body refactoring, and mission system upgrades.
So that is everything currently happening with Into the Radius 2 and kind of in the near future. But way down the line, dude, what's next? There's a new main location coming to Into the Radius 2 in its 0.13 update.
Now, this is planned for spring of next year. There's going to be extensive development of level design, art, gameplay situations, missions, anomalies, and loot.
The devs are also apparently working on and prototyping some future additions to the game.
Yes, prototyping new enemies, pretty freaking exciting. Also prototyping new anomalies. They're going to improve weapons in the game, design some tutorials, and they are progressing on story content. All of this stuff is going to be gradually released next year.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, okay? This last one is some pretty bad news. I didn't want to have to end the video on this note, but anyways, Into the Radius 2 has had its official release date delayed.
Because of development demands at CM Games, Into the Radius 2's official release isn't planned until 2026. Kind of far away, but I can live with it, considering I can play the game on PC. But for those of you guys who have just been watching these Into the Radius 2 videos, pulling your freaking hair out, when is Into the Radius 2 going to be releasing on Quest 2 or Quest 3? A standalone version that everybody can play. The real answer is I have no clue. The devs also have no clue. Best guess is that Into the Radius 2 is going to finish up development in 2026, and you should see maybe a standalone version release by 2028. I don't know, dude. I'm praying for you guys, though. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Like the video if you liked it. Consider subscribing. Shout out to the boys. Thank you, boys, for supporting the channel. I appreciate the hell out of you fellas. And most importantly, dude, have an awesome rest of your weekend. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.